We have a tweet from everyone's favorite, Hillary Clinton. She said, as you listen to an unhinged Trump try to justify deploying the National Guard to D.C., here's a reality. Violent crime in D.C. is at a 30-year low. What's this? From the DOJ, January 3rd, 2025. Total violent crime for 2024 in the District of Columbia is down 35% from 23, and the lowest it's been in over 30 years, according to data collected by the Metropolitan Police Department and announced by the U.S. Attorney Matthew M. Graves. In addition to overall violent crime reduction, homicides are down 32%, robberies are down 39%, armed carjackings. And here's the actual post from the DOJ. And I got to say, wow, under the Biden administration, they announced crime was at a 30-year low. So it sounds like crooked old Donald Trump is just trying to deploy the troops for no reason at all. No reason at all. From NBC Washington, D.C. police commander suspended and accused of changing crime stats. Now, why would he do that? The union claims police supervisors in the department manipulate crime data to make it appear violent crime has fallen considerably compared to last year. Oh, so you mean crime's actually really bad? Uh-huh. Now, it's an accusation. We don't know for sure. It's not definitive. But it is funny that under Biden, they're coming out and they're saying straight up like, no, everything's fine. Crime's way down. And then we get this story. This was from 3 weeks ago, July 18th. This commander was suspended. They claim he was flubbing the numbers to make it seem like crime was down when it's not. Anybody who has eyes to see can go to D.C. There was a really great post Mike Cernovich had because Ken Delanian, I think he's NBC. He tweeted, Trump is claiming crime is up. He's deploying the National Guard, blah, blah. But despite the fact that crime is down, it's misinformation. And Cernovich said, I'd love to get you a GoPro strapped to your body, send you into some D.C. neighborhoods, and you can report on just how nice D.C. really is. Yeah. I've made the argument with Chicago. Nobody took me up on it. I was like, hey, I got an idea. Anybody who thinks crime is like, because there was an argument about Chicago as being nice. I'm like, I got some neighborhoods I can walk you through. And then nobody wanted to do it for some reason. These liberals, these leftists wouldn't go walk through some of these neighborhoods.
Let's send Conan there.
Oh, yeah. let's send Conan to the west side in Chicago. Man.
So I Googled.
I don't want to be liable for that, so.
I used Google, and it brought up USA Facts, and it says that Memphis is number 1, St. Louis is number 2, Baltimore is number 3
Number
for
1.
murder rate. Memphis is number 1 for the murder rate. St. Louis is number 2. Baltimore,
Memphis?
D.C., Birmingham. Chicago's not even in the top, 10, 15 here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
and
creepy.
do you have the numbers too per 100,000?
Yeah, homicides per 100,000. Memphis, 40.9 per 100,000. St. Louis, 37.6 per 100,000. Baltimore, 36.3 per 100,000. Washington, 35.9 per 100,000.
The president has a lot of areas to send the National Guard, huh? A lot of cities.
It is what it is.
One of the most fascinating parts about all of this, I believe, is how, again, the president is disenfranchising Democrats. But in this particular case, D.C. Mayor Bowser is supposed to have control over the Metropolitan Police. And Trump just said, you know what, actually, Attorney General Pam Bondi, you actually now control the Metropolitan Police. Snapped his fingers and said, yeah, right now you are in control. So it's just amazing how, the Democrats are being shoved out of the way, out of power by the president. And he really is flexing those executive muscles against these Democrats.
Was it Bowser that denied his call for more troops during the inauguration?
I believe.
Not the inauguration,
sure.
but
J6.
J6.
I think Nancy Pelosi was involved.
Yeah, but
Pelosi, yeah.
I think it was Mayor Bowser.
Yeah.
I just don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to fight or do you want to lay down and lose? I look at the rate of crime in all of our cities, and it was really funny. I had an incident occur over the weekend. I ended up having to call the police and talk to them about something. And I was just thinking the whole time how awesome this cop was. And I'm like, Michael Mouse is wrong. He's like, don't talk to the cops ever. And I'm like, talking to this guy, and we were shooting the ish, and he's telling me stories, and he helped. He really helped me out. And he just said, hey, look, man, we're not like Chicago out here where they love crime. I started laughing. I'm like, that's why I left. Because we're in West Virginia, and I stand by this. Small town local cops are real cops. Mm-hmm. These are the guys that are going to be like, how's it going, man? They're going to shake your hand and be like, what can I do for you? How can we figure this one out and try and mediate and resolve these issues? And they know you, and they know your business, and they even in smaller towns, which are still pretty big relative to how big, like we're talking like 30,000 people is a big city at this point, right? Small town in the United States, but even in towns like this with a lot of people, they have a general idea of the coffee shop you go to, and you can relate to each other. You go to New York, you got a cop who's got a low-paying job, who doesn't live in the city limits, or he lives in Staten Island, he has a commute, and he's got a boss who's a Democrat appointed by another Democrat, and he does not know you and he does not care. So they say, stop wasting my time. I don't know you, and I don't want to deal with this.
Yep. It's a faceless crowd. They
Yep.
don't care. The local cops at least know. I mean, trust me, I've dealt with some really bad local cops.
So
But more often than not, they know you and they want to keep their community safe and they care about the people there.
So from Wire Point's financial news, I pulled up a top 10 list. It's very similar to what Phil pulled up, but they say St. Louis is 52.9 murders per 100,000. Is that what did you have?
37.6. And I'm
says-
not sure the exact date of when this was. This is it looks like this is 2023.
Okay, this is 2024.
Okay.
St. Louis is 52.9 at number 1, Memphis 38, Baltimore 35, New Orleans 34, Detroit 32, Cleveland, what? 30. Kansas City 28, DC 27, Atlanta 24, and Milwaukee 23. So wait. Washington, D.C. wasn't on your list?
DC's 35.9 per 100,000 in 2023.
35?
35.
Oh, so it is way down. Only 27. So it dropped off from the 4th worst to the 8th worst.
Yeah.
It should
Like
be
gas
Okay.
prices, $4 to $3.50.
I didn't hear one city that I think anybody cares about, though. I don't even think the president cared enough to mention any of those.
I care about all our cities.
Have you been to the harbor in Baltimore?
Nope.
It's awesome.
It is.
It is sad.
Well, it sounds like there's a ton of crime over there. It sounds like the president needs to send it to the national.
Well, the harbor is not so bad, but crime is massively bad in Baltimore. Yeah. It's a shame.
It's bad everywhere. I mean, New York City is brutal. Like in Times Square, my family who works there, they're seeing crazy stuff every day in the daylight. And they're saying it's like how it was in the 70s when it was war zone.
That's a little bit crazy of a comparison, but there's a lot of crime.
Well,
I think.
how
in
old
New
are
York
you?
Still,
How old are you?
31.
Right, and they're like in their 60s who lived through the 70s of the city when it was a total
Sure,
bombed
I think
out.
we could pull up the crime rates
Right.
though of like the murder per capita.
Yeah, I'm
from
sure
the
you could,
70s
but
to
they
now.
lived through this, and a lot of people are getting shot at constantly. There's people getting shot in the daylight on 44th Street, which is stuff they work there all the time, and this is stuff that was not happening, up until the last few years, 4 or 5 years, and it reminds them of how deranged it was throughout the 70s when that city was on fire. That's when Berkowitz was doing his thing. So maybe we have a Berkowitz coming,
Was doing his thing.
talking to the dogs and
I think the
stuff.
president is also kind of anticipating the socialist mayor winning, Mamdani, in New York City, and this will be a blueprint for when things go astray in New York City. He's just going to be ready to have his finger on the button and send in the National Guard as soon as things go wrong over there.
And look how bad the subways are there.
I mean,
How bad are the subways
The
over there?
corpses are getting raped. That's pretty bad.
That is
There's people lighting
actually
themselves on
true.
fire. There's robots patrolling the subways. It sounds pretty dystopian.
Yeah, man, 3 guys got shot near where we were at that event.
In the city?
off DuPont, just recently on the 27th of July.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's all cities. I think this is not unique to all cities. Just some cities have it more than others.
Yeah, I think some cities are a lot worse than others. So again, New York City didn't crack the top 10, 20 or whatever cities that we spoke of. So you have to look at this per 100,000. I do also find it fascinating that President Trump mentioned the youth mobs that are running through DC. I still find that euphemism fascinating. We're talking about 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old black or brown boys running around committing crimes, shooting guns. Judge Jeanine Pirro actually mentioned it in today's briefing, how, they are unable to charge young men as they ride the line of certain crimes because they're charged as minors. And she said they're serious criminals who need to be gone after. I think President Trump also put out on a Truth Social that he wants to go after minors, criminal minors who commit these crimes, which is something, is certainly something.
Yeah, there's kids killing people. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know that will actually fix anything. If they go after minors, I don't have a problem with it, to be honest with you. If you commit crimes like that, you're pretty well. I mean, you kind of know what you're doing.
Well,
not
it's
like
these
a surprise.
youths, these YNs, who are really behind the carjackings, the murderings, the robberies that we're seeing in a lot of these cities. I know there was
Murders,
a
too.
popular trend of like stealing these, was it Kias or whatever car? There was a certain hack that was easy to rob, and we've been seeing there was a trend among these young kids looking for thrills, looking to steal stuff, looking for lower with their low inhibitions as they're still young, but causing a ton of damage and a ton of violence.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're also committing murders. It's not like they're late 20s people that are committing these murders. So if the solution is take these kids off the street and put them in some kind of juvenile detention or whatever, and carry it over into regular prison when they reach 18. I think that might, if that's the solution that they have to go with, that's what they have
I
to
also
go with.
think when you de-incentivize something, you get less of it. You incentivize, you get more of it. So how many do you think will just kind of ease off or stop doing this because of it? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Yeah. So, like, if they change the crime such that you could go after a 15 or 16-year-old for doing a carjacking or murdering somebody, I don't know if it would go down, because I don't know if the kids with low inhibitions at 14, 15, 16 care about the law to begin with, or know the consequences of their action to begin with.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with nihilism in younger people. They have no meaning in their lives, and they don't really care about the consequences.
Well, these are like...
But there's got
These
to
are
be an
crappy neighborhoods. There's low-income housing. DC is full of low-income housing.
You're going to end up in jail anyways.
Single-parent households. Drugs are running rampant. Homelessness is rampant in part of DC. You have these kind of like, everything looks like crap in so much of the city. It
That's
looks
an
like people-
argument for the broken windows policy, right? If you try to make these places look better, then people aren't going to think that they're just garbage neighborhoods. And granted, it's not a fix-all, but it's something that it's worth doing because it's worked in New York. You know, in the 90s, that was something that Rudy Giuliani did, and it worked.
He did ship all the homeless to my neck of the woods,
Sorry about
and
that.
Newburgh got hit hard.
I mean,
But it definitely cleaned up the city.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
We can't
Hilarious.
open up asylums, then I mean they have to go
I mean,
somewhere.
asylums, Alligator, Alcatraz.
they should
everywhere.
open up the asylums.
Yeah.
I thought that there was an executive order.
recently someone that-
I think he was implying that he was just going to push them out. He was like, I don't care where you go, but you can't stay in DC. So
Well, the scary thing about the asylums is when the liberal pharmaceutical doctors they look at Shane and they say, "So you believe that clouds are fake?" And then
Yes, sir.
And then, okay, right this way, sir, and then you can't leave.
Yep.
if institutions
Nice
are
little
reopened,
vacation.
what percent of the company gets institutionalized?
What's that?
Company?
Yeah,
As in this
Timcast,
company?
this company.
Oh, everybody.
Everybody?
Yeah, they're going to be like, they call me a far-right conspiracy theorist, and they're going to be like, yeah, oh, what's that? You think that there's a cabal of elites who are orchestrating global events? And I'll be like, they're called politicians, and they're going to be like, lock them up.
I'll call our APAC guys. I'll make sure we get safe.
Yes.
Shane, you're off
That's
first.
gonna help
We're
the
putting you. We're throwing you in the gulag first.
Good, good. It's going to be
Yeah,
awesome there.
the other day, Elaad fell on the scooter, and two APAC guys ran in and carried him out and brought him to the hospital. And we were like, whoa, that was weird.
And they were like, sue him. And I was like, no, he's a good boss. He's a good guy. He's one of the good ones. They were like, are you sure you could get a big settlement out of him? And I said, no, okay, I signed a contract. They said, no, we can get out of it. And I was like, well,
We can get out of
do I
it.
really want to screw Tim over like this? He wears the big hat. I don't know what's under it. Actually, I do. I saw a video of what's under it.
There's a little hit.
A little hat
On the Matan thing, there were some ideas for jokes that I could have done. Putting a yarmulke under my beanie and then
yeah, let me
taking
It
it
just
off.
been it should have been a beanie, but a much smaller beanie.
Matan said that he was like, "You're gonna pull your head off, and there's a smaller hat or
It
something."
should have been.
Do people know that you actually shaved your head for that bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a full head of hair that shaved
No,
off.
the funny thing is that some outlet wrote Tim Pool has full head of hair, and I was like, and then people responded with like, "Whoa, I didn't think that was gonna happen," and I'm like, people believe the craziest things. It's so weird.
We got Tim without a beanie before the Epstein files.
People.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.